What's up? I was about to go to sleep. It's still daytime. It's 8:27. Come December, I'm gonna be pissed off. It'll be night already for like 4 hours. The cat, everybody's really super quiet. The cat just woke up, tries to eat the fat on the back of my arm. He bites me. He's funny. But anyway, welcome back to Tara Woodruff After Hours. If you're new here, basically, I'm a 54-year-old woman that likes to vlog about my life, my thoughts, work, my way of eating, which we're going to talk about today, which is pretty exciting. And just things in general, philosophy, God, yeah, stuff. So, yesterday I made a video. I hated it. I deleted it, and then I deleted it before I even uploaded it, and then I made another video, and I didn't like that, and it was up for maybe 2 minutes, and I deleted that. So here we are again. We're going to call this Accidental Nomad. Um, I think it was 2 or 3 videos ago I talked about that I had that big giant meal, and 27 hours later was the next time I had a meal. That has definitely formed a habit, and I'm really excited about that. Good thing I had that big ass cheeseburger, because OMAD is something I just didn't think I was going to be doing. It certainly wasn't doing it on purpose, thus the accident. So since that day, I've never been less than 22 and a half hours um, eating, so down to 22 and a half hours without eating. So I'm trying to, let me look real quick at my book here and see when yesterday I ate. When did I eat? I didn't even write it down. I don't even know what that's about. Huh. Well, yesterday was approximately, oh, I wrote down how many hours it was. It was 25 hours after the day before. Today, I'm not going to be able to really figure, well, not at the top of my head because I'm tired. I didn't break my fast until 5. So I'm going to probably call that 24 hours. That's what I'm thinking. But I do have to fix that. And that's really exciting. Yesterday, I decided before I went off to work to jump on the scale because I've been good about avoiding it. I'm having me a grapefruit LaCroix. Thirsty. I actually lost 3 pounds. So I have finally broken the 250 mark. I've broken the 10 pounds lost mark. And I'm pretty excited about that. I believe I'm on day 75 or 76 of being ketovore, which is awesome. I'm still calling myself ketovore and not a carnivore, even though I, I'm still using some carb, like a couple jalapenos on my steak, or I'll sear a couple of cloves of garlic with my steak. Um, that's pretty much it. I'm still pretty heavy on dairy, but not as much. I did wake up my kefirs, but right now I'm just giving them to my dog because my dog really reacts well to kefir. Um, I'm still having my ketovore ice cream, just not as much. I don't know how to, I don't have to make more just because I don't have any. I'll just wait until the next day or whatever, which I think is pretty cool. But it's still very helpful to me. Some people can't do that. Some people cannot have even that. I think it was been pretty helpful to me, keeping me out of going crazy and having a really hard time. For me, it's been very simple to go to this. Actually, I didn't even intend on being this far. My goal was 30 or less net carbs a day. I, I'm lucky if I hit 5, and that's really cool. Just wasn't what I thought was going to happen. It just kind of happened naturally. And I think maybe the reason why it went this way was because before, when I was keto for a long time. I also drank during the entire time, like alcohol. Um, and I just never really got to see results that other people saw on keto because I was still drinking. I'm gonna have to say that's what it was. Um, and then when I started to plateau really super hard, like I think I lost like 20 to 30 pounds on keto over a very long period of time. And I started to carb cycle instead of, and it was in my face, the carnivore thing. I just could not, I couldn't even watch a video about it, you know? And so I started carb cycling, thinking, well, I guess I'm going to need carbs. And I did lose a little weight right away. And then just that all spiraled out. And I still drank and I kept drinking, and my drinking got worse. Um, but that's a whole nother story. It did get really worse. I drank a lot, and it kind of blows my mind that I did, but I did. And it's over now, and that's part of my past. And then this time when I came into, I thought I was going to go single ingredient carb is what my plan was. This was my plan, and God laughs. My plan was single ingredient carbs. So I planned on having my cheeseburgers over a bed of greens. I planned on, and that was a very common meal for me as a keto person. Um, I wasn't planning on making like elaborate meals that you can make with keto by um, substituting, but I definitely planned on having like zucchini, spaghettis, and stuff like that. Um, and if you're going to eat spaghettis and stuff like that, that's probably a pretty good way to do it. It's better than the flour for sure. But whew, I'm sorry. Um, I just wasn't planning on doing stuff like that. Like it was going to be, if there was going to be something added to my meat, it was going to be like a single thing. I wasn't going to be elaborate with my food. Now, if you need to be really elaborate with your food, be really strict keto. Do that first and let it kind of come to you naturally. Don't start carb cycling, guys. Just don't do it. That's don't. And if you're drinking alcohol, you've got to count those carbs. You've got to understand that alcohol sugars are real and they will plateau you at the very least. Not to say that I didn't lose weight sometimes. Towards the end of my heavy drinking, before I left New Hampshire, um, I barely ate, and I did lose weight. I was probably about 47 pounds lighter than I am right now. And then when I quit drinking and I started eating sugar straight up, not like with my, not like that, but like confections, I loved dessert, and I started having dessert. And then I started saying, well, I should probably make it myself, trying to get more holistic about it. Um, and quickly I realized, my body was in a lot of pain. I'm 54 years old. I have to be pretty darn tip top shape for my job. And I realized very quickly that I was feeling as if I was a beat up 80-year-old rather than a beat up 54-year-old. I felt 30 years older, and I knew that the sugar had to stop. Um, Absolutely had to stop. So I went back to keto, and my goal, like I just said, I'm talking in circles, single ingredient carbs. That was it. And I was done drinking, so I didn't have to worry about that being a problem anymore. But I quickly turned to carnivore, and I just won't call myself that because I'm not a purist. Um, I will have sauerkraut. I will have garlic. I will put jalapenos on my steak. I'm not as strict with myself with certain things that like purist carnivores would not entertain. So I don't want to say that I'm carnivore. Okay, so now that I'm accidentally OMAD, like how cool is that? I'm freaked out by it because I feel like for the first time in my life, and there's numerous things that are kind of going this way, is that things are unfolding for me in the proper and the beautiful way. And I don't know if it's just because I'm finally open to it, because of all the years that I gave it resistance. I just feel really good about it. So um, today I had another steak and I had egg salad next to it, and that was I soaked my steak for about an hour in coffee, cold coffee. There was some left in the morning, so I took it off, put it in a glass or in a cup, and put it in the fridge. And then when I knew I was going to be hungry soon, around 4 o'clock, I poured it over my steak that was my last one in the bag and just went about doing whatever I was doing and had that for dinner. That is very good. I really, really like that. And it's a really good idea for people, especially if you're struggling with getting quality cuts. It's gonna make pretty much any cut that you get, taste like $100 plate at a restaurant, which is awesome. It's very, very good, and I just use salt and pepper with it. And you could even make a sauce if you're more like the kind of ketovore I am that would not be opposed to a sauce. You could easily make sauce out of that with your fat in the pan and the fond and the coffee. Oh my, and a little heavy cream. Oh, oh, you could get even crazy and put some cream cheese in it if you wanted to. The possibilities are endless. So I can't wait to make that again. And as a matter of fact, I'll probably do it with my first steak off my next chuck roast. I usually make one big fat one, and the rest I cut to like regular size. So if I do the combined steak, the D&D steak, they're probably about 10 ounces. I could separate them, but now that I'm OMAD over this past week, I don't. I'm happy. I'll eat it. And the first one I make is usually a little thicker than everybody else. It's like my dessert steak. I think I'm going to soak that in some coffee as well. I want to try it on a thicker cut where it's going to come out medium rare no matter what. Today's steak was the thinnest of the batch, and it came out medium, still really super juicy, really nice flavor though with the coffee. So I like that. That's a tip for you. Um, and the egg salad. So what I did with that is I put some of my my seasonal, which has habanero powder, garlic powder, onion powder, crushed red pepper, a little bit of paprika, and that's it. That's my go-to seasoning. I put that in my egg salad with a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, and that's got carbs. I didn't use the French's. I used the Dijon. I like it like that. Um, about a tablespoon and a half of mayonnaise, store bought. I did not make it myself. If I was to be an absolute purist, that would be something I would make on my own or buy, like primal mayonnaise, you know. But mayonnaise is not very difficult to make on your own. As a matter of fact, when I'm done with this, I'm going to start making my own. I don't use it an awful lot, so I don't have to make a lot. And now I have an inversion blender. I can make it really pretty simply. So that's exciting. I can make enough for. I'll save like a little jar that I have from the previous one because I save everything, and I can just fill it up in there, and I bet you it'll be just fine. And that will have lemon juice, right? So that's lemon juice is not a carnivore thing. Um, So yeah, I had that with it, and it was like the juice from the steak got underneath the egg salad. It was like, oh my gosh, it was great. Very happy. But besides all that, guess what? I cut my own hair today. I did. Last haircut I got, I don't usually get haircuts. I do them myself because I cut my own hair. I know how to do that long layered thing. I know how to do that haircut on myself. It's not difficult once you get used to it. Plus, I'm a beauty school dropout, so I kind of already have the knowledge that's in there. I never worked in a salon, but my family didn't have to pay for a haircut for 20 years. And then I finally said, I'm done cutting your hair. I got tired of it. And then when my left hand went where I couldn't like hold the hair, oh, that looks like it's improving though. Like you got to be able to hold the hair. Then nobody got a haircut by me anymore except for myself. So a few months ago, I wanted to get my hair cut. I wanted it cut right here, right up my shoulders, all one length. Now, doing it yourself, it's impossible to get it straight. But my hair was like this, like a pointy in the back, lots of layers, very long. Um, I wanted it all cut up here. I wanted all that gone. And so I went to the lady and I said, listen, I know how to cut my hair. You don't even have to bother with any layers. If I want more layers, I can put them in myself. I want you to do what I cannot do as good as I want it done. I did not feel, I tried all sorts of, I stood in front of that mirror so much. You could do it, Tara. You could do it. And I just couldn't wrap my head around it. And I sat there with her and she did my hair. And all of a sudden, all this part, I'm not sure where she was thinking. All that started getting layered pretty 90 degrees. I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? She gave me a wolf cut. So guess where my hair was in the back of my back? The same. It was still a V. It was not straight across. I was very disappointed. I will never go back because I thought maybe I'm wrong. She, maybe I'm wrong, but she didn't listen to me, and I explained it for 15 to 20 minutes what I wanted and what I didn't need, and I wanted it styled after because what the fuck? I'm the type of person that cuts my own hair. I don't blow dry my own hair. I don't put a hot iron on my own hair anymore. I used to. I just don't do any of that. So if I want you to style it, I want you to fucking style it. And her opinion at the end was like, well, it'll just get too fluffy if I keep trying to style it. No, you've cut my hair so long that it's dried. So now you need to put some water on it and style my fucking hair. Like, I didn't say anything. I just said, thank you very much. Okay, here you go. Here's your tip. And I was out. And that's it. I was disappointed, to say the least. So now I'm bitching and moaning, and I don't want to bitch and moan because it was a good wolf cut. And maybe she heard me opposite. Maybe she thought I didn't want her. I don't know. Anything could have happened. All I know is I'm not going anywhere to get my hair cut. And I determined yesterday I'm not doing it. And I want my hair cut. And I mean business. So I went to sleep. I woke up this morning and I knew exactly what to do. I was like, wow. Because I told my daughter, you're going to cut it. And she's like, no way, that's scary. No way. And I was like, I'll walk you right through it. You just do what I tell you to do, and you'll be fine. And I was going to have her do like my head at a 45-degree angle and just cut at an angle down from the back of my neck and do like a slanted bob almost. That's really hard to fuck up. Going straight across is hard. So um, I knew she was terrified of it, and I'm pretty terrified of it. So I just went to bed thinking about it, and I dreamt about it. This is how you're going to do it. And I went onto YouTube this morning after I did my morning readings and double checked other people that were showing you how to do it for yourself. Sure enough, the things that I was telling myself in my dream matched in alignment with things that I knew I could pull off. I was like, okay, okay. And so I did it. And I did it dry, which I was shocked that I didn't want to do it wet first. So I brushed my hair out, all the nasty knots, because my hair gets really knotty because it's super dead. And I put it right down the middle and made two. I finally grew out enough now that the wolf cut has grown out. Two ponytails right here at the base of my neck, like that. And then I took those and made one solid one. And I said, okay. And I looked for my hair cutting scissors everywhere. I don't know where the fuck they went, but they're around here. So I had to get kitchen scissors. And I cut it. And I was immediately like, get out. It still goes like this in the back, but not. And Sarah might be able to play with that, but I don't think it's necessary. It's a lot of hair off. I can't believe it. So basically, what you would see if my hair was like this and my hair was down, it doesn't look like I did anything to it. But now, when I pull forward, you can see there's a lot more than just the face framing that I do. So I basically cut to my longest layer, basically, and it came out pretty sassy. I'm going to have to say so. That's the side I sleep on, so it's super kinky curly. After I got done, I went and took a shower. And look at the curls. How cute. Oh, this part's all frizzy, though, because that's the way I sleep. And then this side is like the classic wavy side, and it came out really nice. And you want to see how much I got off? It's about 5 inches of hair I cut off all by myself. And I'm really excited. But when you look at this end, do you think it's possible that maybe one part of my hair is probably an inch longer than the other part? It's probable, but I'm not going to fret it. Next time I take a shower, I'll do that same thing with wet hair and take a closer look. And by that time, I will have found my hair cutting scissors. I knew not to go back and do that today because then I'd end up with really fucked up hair. Because you can get crazy. You don't want to do that. But as far as it looks, as far as the texture of what one side is to the other, it's the same. So I might not have to make any adjustments. So I'm pretty happy about that. I finally got the haircut I wanted, and I didn't have to pay anybody a dime, except for I had to pay myself because I pay myself really good. I'm like very high paid Tara for Tara. I opened that, haven't had a sip, and I'm like, um, I'm trying to. I don't want to like forget anything. We're getting onto the 30-minute mark soon, so. Oh, this is another update I wanted to tell you guys. This is really cool. And it's something that I wanted to purposefully do, but I didn't purposefully do it. It just happened. See what I'm saying? Once you just stop being so discontented, the things that you really want start happening. I didn't want to be an afternoon coffee drinker anymore. I can't tell you the last time I made coffee in the afternoon. I have no idea. I don't even remember the last time I did it. It just occurred to me. You haven't had coffee in the afternoon. Normally, if I'm working, when I get off work, I come home. I'll even make sure the pot's ready for me to press play when I walk in the door. It's gone. Maybe it has to do with seltzers, drinking the LaCroix. Could be. I love them. Oh, I'm just really happy it's like $4.50 for an 8 pack instead of $3.50 each, like I was drinking with the White Claw. I'm still not really thrilled about how many of these I can drink in a day, but whatever. It says it's innocent. The ingredients says water and flavor. So should be okay. I hope. I don't know. It's better than coffee twice a day. Boy, oh boy. I have not yet let go of the creamer yet. But, when that time, apparently it's going to show up. It's just going to happen, which I love. Also, Fancy and I have been going for rides and getting out of the car. So, not just taking her for a ride down a country road, I'll stop the car and get her out. It's super important, especially because in the winter, there's no way. It's freezing cold. Freezing freaking cold. And I just haven't been able to trust my body enough because she'll get her feet up and she'll go to jump, but I've got to be there to catch the back of her because my vehicle's up high. Um, and if I am scared to do that because I'm going to slip or whatever, I shouldn't do it because I need my body to work for my work, right? So in the summertime, I really should not make any excuses. When she gets in the car, it can't be just for a ride. It's got to be for a ride, stop, get out, go somewhere, get back in, even if it's small. And because I physically am not ready for long walks or anything like that, like I still need to make an effort to do something more outside of the vibration plate, which I'm still using. And I get on the floor every day. I try to at least get on the floor. That's amazing. You should do it. um, and my fascia dance exercises, I do those in the morning while I'm waiting for the coffee to brew. But that's still not enough. And for her, it's not enough. So we don't really get to play fetch it catch it in this yard. Number one, the yard is just way overgrown. It's not cut to my standards if I was to have standards about yards. So that's a pain in the ass. And yeah, it's just not the ideal and it sucks. But it's not the worst. And I'm not mad. It's just one of the things that I will have in my brain and that I'm very grateful that will happen in my next venture for a place to live. Um, so I've been taking her out of the car, walking down to the river. First couple of times, it was a really short walk to the river, very comfortable, and which is good. I remember the first day it hurt my knee. I was like, oh no, did I just ruin everything? But I didn't. The next day I did it again, didn't feel it. I'm like, okay, your body will lie to you. You gotta watch out. And today we went to a new spot, and it's significantly more intense getting to it. But at the same time, it ain't nothing compared to the swim hole I used to go to when I was living in Maine. And that was especially difficult because I'd walk down sober and walk back drunk. And coming back drunk or very heavily buzzed was no fun. Really hard. I'm lucky that I never fell when I was by myself. Whatever. Like the best swim hole ever. But it was a good mile to a mile and a half from the parking area through the woods on a path that was well worn. So most of it was like roots, you know? So you got to watch where you're going. And of course, I walked it barefoot, um, or that place barefoot. I, I used to always be barefoot. I don't know what happened. I think I need to be more barefoot. Um, Nothing like that walk. Short, short, short. Maybe 100 yards. And it's down a four-wheeler track. So I could pull the Jeep down because the Jeep is about the size of a side by side, but I wouldn't be able to get it out. I would have to pull into the river and turn around, and I'm terrified of shit like that. Not for any reason than it's my only vehicle, and I'm not going to ruin it. So, um, if it was my summer car, oh yeah, I drive right down there. So we walked down. I'm like, this is cool, and I didn't have any creepy feelings, which is cool. I was really excited about that because I live in a very wooded area and I had two bear challenges today. And I just can't believe it. And I'm walking next to berries. So now that I think of it, I'm like, I probably should have been freaked the fuck out. But I'll just start talking out loud when I go into the woods and be like, like talking out loud. Like, I am here, I'm human. So there. But nice little walk down. Definitely more for her, more for me. My only problem is I went down there and I didn't have on the right clothes. Like for me to cross to where it could be really super enjoyable, I would have had to gotten into like up to my underwear line, and that would have just made the Jeep really, really wet. So if I was wearing a dress, which is what I should be wearing in the summer when I'm not working, that would have been nothing. I could have just pulled it up to my underwear and then had a dry dress for getting back in the car. I'm learning a lot about myself right now. I need to pull my freaking dresses out. Goodness gracious. But a beautiful spot, no one's there. How cool is that? No swimming though. Not a swim hole, just a river spot. But the water's moving fast enough that like you could sit in it and not have like leeches, which is really important. I don't like them. Um, so I'm excited about that. My neighbor hooked me up with the GPS. He's like, I just get to go there and I'm gonna send you the GPS. And he did. Sure enough, there I was. I'm like, look at that. It was awesome. Um, so that's happening, which is good. But we're already halfway through this damn month. And you know what? I'm just hoping that we have a really good long summer. I really love summer in Vermont. I cannot understand why this is not one of the most sought after places in the summertime. I just don't get it. I've lived in the Hamptons. I'm not saying that that's not wonderful. It is, but no, not what they're charging for it anymore. It ain't what it used to be. No way. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, nope, no way. I'm shocked. We have a giant water park. I I'm shocked, and the amount of incredible swim holes that there's like maps for. Like you can find this shit. Why? I'm not bitching. I like having a slower summer because that's my season. But it'd be nice to have more money in my pocket during it. So I got plans. I got things to do. And that's all good. You know, I really like that. Just remembering, the day where you didn't have to worry about that anymore. What a good feeling that was. Knowing it was redemption has been given. These things are real. Feels good. Remembering. I think that's cool. You don't know what I'm talking about? Go and check out my. I don't even know the name. There's a playlist. There's a playlist talking about that stuff. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. This is nowhere near as bad as it was yesterday. And I know I rambled, but this is a vlog. It's going to be kind of stream of consciousness over here. So thank you for keeping me from going to bed at 8 o'clock. I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much. I love you long time, and I'll see you soon. Bye.